gorgeous girl, and showed up, and then I was like, don't let this weird you out, and I pulled this electric scale out of my bag and started weighing all of the pieces of food on the table, and that was the beginning of the end.
Why did you do that?
Because I was trying to prove that the calories in, calories out model as co-opted by nutritionists is totally inaccurate. They don't understand thermodynamics. So what I was doing is eating I think it was 6.8 times my resting metabolic rate, like what you're supposed to need to maintain weight on a daily basis. I ate 7 times that in about 12 hours. And to show that I could prevent myself from getting fat even if I ate that way. So to clock in later with lower body fat, like 2 days later. And so I was weighing all my foods so that I could do an accurate calorie count later. So if I had whatever amount of cheese, I wanted to know how many grams that was, so later I could do the multiplication and do all the adding.
So your contention is that it's based on a weight to energy to, like, I don't understand.
Oh, no. So
what are they wrong about?
What they're wrong about is they'll say, all right, you have calories in, eating, and then you have calories out, exercise. So that's your balance. In reality, there are many different ways you can get rid of calories besides exercise. Stress, heat. So if you put yourself in cold, so Ray, who's one of the NASA scientists in the book, he tripled his fat loss by using cold treatments, where they're like cold showers, or I use ice baths, tripled his rate of fat loss. I mean, that's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of taking like methamphetamine. But
wait a minute. How do you do that? What do? You just get in a cold shower every day and you lose fat?
Yeah.
How long do you got to be in that shower?
Oh, I do like a few minutes. I mean, very short. And I actually
and that makes you lose fat?
Yeah, I prefer. It triggers a hormone that I think people are going to be hearing a lot more about in the next few years, probably the next 1 or 2 years. Adiponectin. Most people have never heard of this. Improves, among other, insulin sensitivity, but also the rate of fat loss. And cold triggers this. Also triggers luteinizing hormone, which you of course see in your blood panel when you do testing looking at testosterone, which I think is the primary driver behind sex drive. So if you're able to jack up your LH, you're like you want to go hump a corner. It's really pretty awesome. But
so cold showers make you horny?
Yeah, if you take like an ice bath.
So it's the opposite of what they always told us.
Well, it'll definitely make you look like less of Ron Jeremy, but with an ice bath. But the intermediate and longer term effects, higher sex drive, absolutely.
That's incredible, because that's what they always say, right? Take a cold shower and it cools you off. You're horny.
Yeah.
But in fact, it just makes you harder.
It'll make you, you'll need some recovery time for taking an ice bath. I like an ice bath up to like mid chest.
Okay, so when you need recovery time,
20 pounds of ice.
How much recovery time do you need before you're ready to rock?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah, you're good.
Do you have to get in any warm water to rejuvenate, or?
I would take a hot shower afterwards. I would actually take a hot shower beforehand. So there's something called contrast therapy that the East Germans used to use, where you take, for example, a very hot shower so that the blood vessels dilate in an area. This is after sports, so I started using this for sports stuff. I have all sorts of back injuries, so I do hot on the back and then go right into the ice bath, and that would hyper constrict it. And then you get out and you do the hot shower to finish, and that's supposed to help flush out debris and damaged tissue and so forth. It really works. It's amazing. It's like an extra 2 days of recovery.
Hot and cold therapy, and they used to do that back for injuries a long time ago in the 80s. I tore my sartorius muscle. Ow. Yeah, it was a big one too, because this was the third year that I was defending the state championship in Taekwondo, and I couldn't do any sparring. I couldn't kick the bag. I used to have the only thing I could do was throw kicks in a swimming pool. Yeah, and I had a bunch of different therapies to fix that, and one of the big ones was getting a hot bath and then plunge right into a bath full of ice cubes.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Sartorius is a gnarly one.
Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad tear. It went right up to the hip. You're doing Taekwondo. You're whipping your legs around these crazy, unnatural motions with all this torque. There's an amazing amount of torque, especially you get really good and really flexible. Yeah. And I was really young too, and your body, when you're like 17, 18 years old, it just has some elasticity to it. It springs and whips, so you generate so much force, you can rip things apart. I tore my ACL, tore my sartorius, ripped rib cartilage.
Oh god. I haven't torn my sartorius. Hamstring is the worst leg muscular and connective tissue issues that I've had.
I did it once so bad my whole leg was black and blue. I popped and then the rest of my leg, like from my balls all the way down to like below my knee, was total black and blue, like I got shot.
That's terrible. There's a guy I know. He lives actually around here, Scott Mendelson. He's broken 9 records in the bench press, world records. The guy can bench about 1,200 pounds. I'm not kidding. And
Christ.
I've seen him do warm-ups with 5 plates on either side, just like somebody would use an empty bar. And he's a huge guy. No big surprise there. It's like the last time I saw him, he was 320 and had a 6-pack, to give you an idea. But when people don't realize, when you start handling those types of weights, you're using your legs in a major way, even for the bench press. And so I remember seeing him at one point, and he was hobbling around. He showed me his leg. He tore his entire quad, which is like it's like twice the size of my torso, doing the bench press.
Oh,
so his entire quad was
just
black.
ripped off of his
Yeah, it was just
bone.
Completely black. It looked like, I'm sure what your leg looked like.
Yeah, muscle tears are a motherfucker, man. They take a long time.
They do, yeah.
I'm so careful as I get older about warming up and and getting really loose before I do anything. That has helped me so much, man.
Yeah, have you done any of the rolling, like lacrosse balls or foam rollers?
Yeah,
those are great. I find that
there's
really
a deep
helpful.
tissue guy that I go to that just fucking hurts like hell, man. And it's a dude, which is uncomfortable because I always used to go and get deep tissue massages from chicks, but then I started getting real sports massages from someone who's a strength coach at Purdue, and like he's legit, and he breaks your shit down, dude. It's fucking painful. You know, he has all these emotion things he does too. He stretches you in all different range of motions while he's like just digging elbows into the muscle. I mean, it's fucking. You want to tap out left and right. It gets pretty rough.
Sounds like A.R.T. Does he ever mention that?
Yeah.
That is fucking painful.
Yeah, it's painful, but it's fucking amazing. It allows you to go back to training like much quicker. You know, just there's all sorts of different things that we don't like to do that are uncomfortable, like the ice baths and like this kind of shit. But God, when you do them, it's so important.